Shana Tova, Yom Kippur Sameach. I wish everyone a Gemara Chatima Tova for a special year ahead. Yom Kippur, Kol Nidrei, 5776. Special note out to my grandmother and her sister who are unable to get out to Yom Kippur services in their advanced and blessed age. And as such, this will be their introduction to spending their Yom Kippur before they settle down to fasting and observing Yom Kippur. This got me thinking about the concept of the main mitzvah of Yom Kippur, which is fasting. And what do you do in Yom Kippur if there's no fasting? Now, fasting is a very, very strict requirement of Yom Kippur. The Torah gives very strict prohibitions on all manner of things about how important it is that you fast. Nonetheless, according to virtually all halachic authorities, there are circumstances under which you do not fast. And some of them are fairly obvious, and you deal with certain health situations, there is nothing that can be done. And this leads me to the discussion of what is Yom Kippur for someone who can't fast? And how does that relate to the rest of the population who does fast? The absolute importance of fasting Yom Kippur is as follows. If somebody in the act of fasting will limit their ability to take part in regular Yom Kippur activities, synagogue and otherwise, the halakhic ruling is that the person should stay at home and fast, rather than do anything that endangers their ability to fast. That's how important fasting is. Now, obviously, some people just can't fast, and that doesn't mean just because they can't fast they shouldn't go to synagogue. Nonetheless, what do you do when you can't fast? So on this, I'll start off by reading a Gemara in Masechet Yoma, page 87b, that discusses a different mitzvah of Yom Kippur, the mitzvah of vidui, which is to confess, to say you've done things wrong, both specifically and in general. Specifically, to think about the things you know you've done wrong, and in general, because who can imagine things you didn't notice you did, or you've forgotten about, or just disappear in the actual thought about everything. So the Gemara says as follows: Mitzvat vidu erev Yom Kippur im chashecha. The mitzvah of vidu you do as it's getting dark. Aval amru chachamim. The chachamim stated yidvadeh kodem shiochal v'yishteh. You should start confessing before you eat and before you drink. Shema titarev da'ato b'seudah, lest literally you lose your mind during the meal. Now Rashi explains this is something to do with drunkenness, that you drank alcohol and you sort of lost focus. That for me is difficult, Maybe you get over your hangover by tomorrow morning, it's still Yom Kippur. Rambam has a completely different version of the text that states actually maybe you'll choke on your food out of desire and greed to eat as much as possible or whatever. The simple understanding here is not drunkenness, especially in today's day and age where people do not drink alcohol before Yom Kippur and yet they still have this apparent mitzvah of the Chachamim to do a vidui before they eat, is that apparently we start the mitzvah of Yom Kippur early. So the question is, can you perform the mitzvahs of Yom Kippur on the day before? For example, Pesach, you cannot perform any of the mitzvot of Seder or Matzah the day before. You can't have the mitzvah of Shofar the day before. Can you perform any of the mitzvot of Yom Kippur the day before? So there's an interesting idea on this. If you actually look at the verses in Vayikra chapter 23 that discuss what you're meant to do. Verse 32, Shabbat Shabbaton hu lachem. It's a complete day of rest for you. V'nitem et nafshotechem. You should torment your spirits. You should not eat anything. B'tisha lachodesh ba'erev. On the 9th of the month in the evening. Me'erev ad erev tishbedu shabbatchem. From the evening to the evening, you should literally have your Shabbats put to rest. And on this, I have to ask a very odd, serious question. Which day is this? Is this the 9th at the end of the evening, the beginning of the evening? This is the 9th of the month. Yom Kippur is the 10th of the month. So the Gemara asked this question and says, surely we're not meant to fast for 2 days. And surely someone didn't get confused between the 9th day and the 10th day. This particular section in verse 27 says, Ach be'asor lachodesh hashvi'i hazeh Yom Kippurim hu. It says the 10th day of the month is Yom Kippur. So what's on the 9th day? So the Gemara says as follows: Kol ha'ochel v'shoteh b'tisha b'chodesh. Whoever eats and drinks on the 9th of the month, ve'tzam b'asri b'chodesh, but then fasts on the 10th day of the month. Ma'aleh alav hakatuv ki'ilu it'aneh b'tshi u'b'asiri. The verse literally treats the person as if they have successfully fasted on the 9th and the 10th day. Meaning that Yom Kippur has been turned into a 2-day festival. We can't fast for 2 days. What you're meant to do is eat on the first day, confess, start the whole Yom Kippur process on the first day, and then continue on the second day while you are fasting. And this means that in fact, some of the mitzvot of Yom Kippur are actually performed while you are eating. Now this does not mean that somebody should go out of their way to eat on Yom Kippur. Rather means that there are 2 components of the mitzvah of Yom Kippur, some of which can't be fulfilled by certain people because they can't fast. But that doesn't mean they can't fulfill all of the other components. And that doesn't mean that this doesn't show them what they can do on Yom Kippur itself. There's the 10th day, even if they can't fast properly. And it also shows people who can fast what they're able to achieve. When you fast on Yom Kippur, having eaten all through the 9th day, you are demonstrating a separation that is not separated. On the 9th day, we're thinking of tshuva, we're thinking of becoming a better person. We are confessing, we're coming before God and saying, I've got to become a better person. And we're doing that again on the 10th day, yet in a more intense fashion. But in the end, we are making a huge distinction between the complete physicality of eating and drinking and the complete spirituality of not eating and drinking. And it may make you think, you know what, maybe I should fast more often during the year. Talmud talks about that sometimes fasting is a positive thing. Megillat Esther, fasting is credited as being one of the reasons why the Jews were redeemed. But if you think all you need to do to be a better person is fast, it's not enough. You learn so many things about yourself from fasting, but that doesn't automatically make you a better person. Hopefully it helps you get there. We learn about self-restraint, because the self-restraint of eating and all the other things we don't do on Yom Kippur, which we demonstrate by doing them all perfectly on the 9th day and not doing them at all on the 10th day, lets us learn about how to control ourselves and how we should be, just as that's what a fast is meant to do. And just because you can't fast, it doesn't mean that you can't control yourself. You simply can't learn that allegory. You can't learn that lesson. And perhaps an elderly person who's fasted for many, many years needs to learn that lesson a bit less. It doesn't mean the elderly person doesn't have what to do and make up for on Yom Kippur. But maybe they need to learn that lesson less. And that teaches us, those who are able to fast, just how we need to use every lesson we can to improve ourselves. And to understand the self-restraint that comes from eating and drinking and everything on the first day of Yom Kippur, the 9th day, and doing nothing on the second day, the 10th day of the month. And that also shows those who can't fast how they can still fulfill the tshuva, the tefillah, the tzedakah to merit a good year, a good life, a good inscription. Shana Tova, Chag Sameach.